So it's the end of the month, which means that today's video is another book of the month video, and this month I have been reading Paper Towns by John Green. If you're new here, hello, my name is Tori Cyclic. I make new videos every Sunday for Cyclic Sunday with other videos throughout the week. If you like what you see, like this video down below and subscribe while you're down there as well. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok in the description at tss6295. Now, let's get into the video. So this month I was struggling to find a new book to read because I looked online for a new book to read on my Kindle app and nothing was really sounding very interesting to me for something new to read. And then I looked at my little library of books that we have out in the living room area, and then I saw that we had a copy of Paper Towns in our little library outside, which is just our bookcase, and I was like, I haven't read Paper Towns in a very long time, so let's read that one. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I'm a nerd fighter, DFTBA. Don't forget to be awesome. I'm a huge fan of John and Hank Green and all of their work, as well as their YouTube channel, their books, all of their media. I just love them so much. And I've read Paper Towns I don't know how many times, because there was a point in high school where I would just cycle through reading all of John Green's books that were out at that time, just in succession over and over and over again. So my copy that I have at my parents' house is extremely well worn and well loved and underlined and like book flapped and dog-eared and all that kind of stuff because I've read it so many times. And I don't know where I got this copy of Paper Towns. I just know that it's a signed copy. So there we go. There's our J scribble right there. Thank you very much, John Green. I would say Paper Towns is one of my top favorite John Green books. I don't really know why. I just really love reading it. And every time I go back to it, I just really feel like I'm back as a high schooler, as a teenager. I just really love it. So there's something about it that's very near and dear and close to my heart. I also went to opening day of the Paper Towns movie with Sean. I dragged him to it because he, I think, had just read Paper Towns. I think I just bought him a copy of it. And then I was like, well, we have to go see the movie because the movie just came out. So yeah, I'm a really big John Green fan. We all know this. So going back and reading Paper Towns again after probably a couple years was a very nice, welcoming thing for me. It just kind of felt like I was picking up an old friend and reading them again, which was really nice. I think the main reason why I love Paper Towns so much is because when I opened it and started reading it again, I remembered exactly how I felt as a high schooler and as a teenager. And I feel like Paper Towns is where John Green gets that teenage experience down the best. All of his books revolve around teenagers, high school kids, but I feel like Paper Towns really captures that like real life high school teenage experience the best because it's not too floaty of language like it can be in The Fault in Our Stars, which I love about The Fault in Our Stars because it puts it in a very different kind of world of teenagers dealing with cancer and illness and like life itself. And then Turtles All the Way Down is a lot more about like the mind and anxiety and that kind of thing. But yeah, I feel like Paper Towns really just captures how teenagers talk and how teenagers act very well. Something that I really loved while rereading Paper Towns this time around was noticing how John Green makes his worlds really pop off of the page. I don't know if I ever noticed this when I was reading the book in high school, but I really felt like I was there with the characters of Quentin and Margot Ross Spiegelman and all of their friends. I just felt like I was there with them in their high school, talking about everything they were doing, going on all of their adventures with them. It just felt very real, and I think that's a big reason why I always keep going back to Paper Towns and kept going back to Paper Towns when I was in high school, because it was a world I wanted to escape to that I felt very connected to. I also feel like John Green has really written the relationship between Radar, Ben, and Quentin very strongly because it reminds me of friendships that I wish I had in high school that I definitely didn't have, and that's why I feel like this book is something that I love so much because it's the epitome of the life that I wanted to have in high school and the kind of friendships I wanted to have and the kind of people I wanted to surround myself with. So it felt like, yeah, very comforting to read this book again and remember that's how I felt while I was reading it. When I was younger, when I was reading my books, I really liked to underline or highlight sections of the books that I was reading that I really liked and wanted to reference back to the next time I read them, or just something that stuck out to me like a quote or something, and I would dog-ear the page, underline the section of that book. I haven't done it in a while with books. I used to do it like, I don't know, about a year ago. I just kind of stopped doing that while I was reading. I think part of that was also because I've been reading a lot on my phone and it's not very easy to do that on the Kindle app for me. I was just like, I like writing in the book and marking it down myself with a pen or pencil on the paper. But while reading Paper Towns this time around, I kept finding sections that I was like, oh yeah, I remember highlighting that, or oh yeah, I remember dog-earing that page. And I couldn't remember the exact reasons why. Some of them I was like, oh, this just resonated so much with how I felt when I was in high school, and oh, this just got me in my feelings. And it just, yeah, it was just nice to read back on this book and remember the reasons why I loved it so much and the things that stuck out to me me so much when I was reading it when I was in high school. I feel like my favorite part of the book is right at the beginning of it in part 1 when Margaret Ross Spiegelman takes Quentin on her amazing adventure to get revenge on all of her friends and the 11 parts of that revenge plot that she wants to do. I feel like it's just so fun and very quintessentially John Green's writing that like his characters take each other on these cool adventures and do these amazing things together and then have like very intimate moments that are very open and honest with each other. And yeah, it just reminded me so much of the things I wanted to do and wished I could have done when I was younger. When I don't know, if I could be more adventurous, I would love to go back and do something like that. Yeah, I remember really liking that section when I was younger, and then reading it again, I was like, oh yeah, I do love that section of the book a lot. In addition as well, for years, I have wanted to travel to Agloe, New York, which is mentioned in Paper Towns. It's a huge part of the book, and still have not done it, but it has been a plan of mine for a very, very, very long time to go find Agloe somewhere. So hopefully eventually I will be able to do that. And in reading this book, once again, I was like, oh yeah, I do really want to go to Agloe and find it. And this time of reading Paper Towns, I found myself flying through the book, which I thought was a little bit funny, but I was like, no, this is what I liked so much about it, is that it's an easy read and that it really sucks you into the story and you just kind of forget how long you've been reading for and how many pages you've read until you've pretty much made it to the end of the book. And I think that's a really, really good thing about Paper Towns because of how well the story is fleshed out, that you really feel like you're in it with the characters, that you kind of like forget that you're reading a book. So those are my thoughts on Paper Towns by John Green. If you have read this book, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. And if you have any other recommendations for books I should read in the future, let me know about those in the comments down below as well. And as always, if there's anything you would like to see here on my channel, let me know about that in the comments down below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, DFTBA, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!